Welcome
Welcome
to Modern Mind,
Ancient Book,
where we, together, explore one of the most important books in human history. Isabella, welcome to another Modern Mind, Ancient Book.
Hello.
Today, we are going to be doing the Book of Psalms.
Yes.
Do you know what the Book of Psalms is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a book in the Bible, in the Old Testament.
It's a book in the Bible in the Old Testament. That was a pretty good answer. What's the Book of Psalms about?
I don't know.
Well, do you remember any of the music that we listened to, like, on our Amazon app or whatever? Do you remember a group called Sons of Korah?
Yeah.
Do you remember Mama and me asking for them to play that?
What?
Sons of Korah?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember it?
I don't remember you guys asking for it.
Okay. Well, Sons of Korah, they play psalms. What about this one? Do you remember Poor Bishop Hooper?
Why is it a pooper?
I don't know. It's just the name of the group. But they do psalms. You know a whole bunch of psalms because we listen to Christian music all the time, right? Please don't play with the Bible. We got it open for a reason, okay? So, the thing is I don't know if you realize that you know psalms, but you do. You know a whole bunch of them. Okay. So, let's talk about the book now, okay? So, the Book of Psalms is a book of a collection of music. Does that make sense?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
I don't get it.
You don't get it? Okay, read Psalm 1. Read it.
Unless
Read it out loud, like clear.
I can't.
Why?
You know.
What do you mean I don't know? I know you can read.
I can.
Okay, read it.
How blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the path of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He will be like a tree firmly planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in its season.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see if you remember this. Blessed is the man who doesn't walk in the sinner's way, nor sit in the seat of the mockers. Blessed is the man whose delight is in the law of the Lord, or something. I can't remember how the song goes. It doesn't ring a bell for you? He is like a tree who's planted by the streams, who yields its fruit in the season. It doesn't ring a bell to you? That's Psalm 1. It's Sons of Korah. They made these into songs. Here, sit down. Okay. Here, take this. I'm going to turn it to Psalm 119. Okay? For you. Psalm 119. Okay, read the first 8 lines, but read them really clear, okay?
What's here?
Psalm 119. You gotta listen and read the first 8 lines.
What?
Look at where my thumb is.
Oh.
See Psalm 119?
Yes.
Okay, read the first 8 lines.
How blessed are those?
Read them loud and clear, please.
How blessed are those whose way is blameless, who walk in the law of the Lord. How blessed are those who observe his
testimonies,
who seek him with all their heart. They also
do know unrighteousness.
They walk his ways. You have ordained your
precepts
that we should keep them
diligently.
Oh, that my ways
may be established.
To keep your statutes, that I shall not be ashamed. When I look upon all your commandments.
Condiments are ketchup.
Those are
commandments.
I said what? Condiments are ketchup?
Yeah, ketchup and mustard and stuff. Those are condiments.
Wait, what is that? Commandments?
Commandments.
I shall give thanks to you with
uprightness
of heart. When I learned your righteous judgments, I shall keep your statutes. Do not forsake me utterly.
Okay, so what do you think this is about?
I have no idea.
It's about keeping God's law.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, let's look at some of the words, okay? How blessed are those whose way is blameless, who walk in the law of the Lord. Does that make sense?
No.
What do you mean? How blessed? What is blessed?
I don't want to describe it.
Okay, but what does it mean? Is it good or bad?
Good.
Okay. Who are those? It's just anybody, right? Those, them, these, right?
Those.
Okay. Who walk?
They don't walk.
What does it mean to walk?
Go to one place to another.
It means to move in a direction, right? Please talk toward the mic instead of facing away from it. Okay, so those who walk in the law of the Lord. What's the law?
Rules that you have to follow.
No, the law are rules that condemn those who do wrong things.
What does condemn mean?
Okay, so if you're driving too fast and you get caught by the police and they give you a ticket, did you break a law? Yes, you broke a traffic law, right?
Yeah.
So those are what laws are. Laws are borders or, in this case, commandments or words that are put in place that define or explain to you what it is to do something that's against God. Those are the laws. Do you remember where the law is? Remember, there are 5 books that are the law. What are they? What is the Torah? Do you remember that? Genesis.
Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges.
Stop. What is the law? Genesis. There are 5 books. Genesis.
Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
Okay. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Those are the books of the law. That's right. Okay. So the Old Testament, as we like to call it, but I would prefer that we just call the whole Bible the Bible, because it's the Bible, It's not old or new. Actually, it's all really old.
Ever?
All of it. Yeah.
So all of it's old.
All of it's really old.
Old Testament. All of them is Old.
All of them are really old. The books in what we call the Old Testament are older than the books what we call the New Testament, but the whole Bible is really old.
Yeah, so just all Old Testament.
No, it's just all the Bible. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so what do you call a book in the New Testament? In the collection of books, what is it?
Yeah.
Is it in the... What is this book called?
The Bible.
Okay, so a book in the New Testament is in the what?
Bible.
Okay, would you please face toward that, okay? You're flipping all around. I want you to try to stay focused. Okay, what's a book in the Old Testament in? Is it in this?
Yeah.
And what's this called?
The Bible.
So is the Old Testament and the New Testament the
Bible.
The Bible? Oh, yeah, it is. It's all the Bible. And the Old Testament books, as we like to call them, are books that preceded or came before who? It has to do with the cross.
Please ask the question again.
Yeah. So before someone came, there were books that are in the Bible.
Jesus?
Yeah, that's right. And then after Jesus came, there were more books that were in the Bible.
It's like a fancy.
Because there were books wrote about the way that he taught what we call the Old Testament. Does that make sense? What did Jesus teach about? Did he teach about the New Testament? Or did he teach about the Old Testament?
I know.
Before Jesus came, were there the books of the New Testament? No. While Jesus was here, were there books about the New Testament? No. So Jesus taught the Old Testament. Does that make sense?
No.
What do you mean? Okay. When you were in first grade, did you learn about things in second grade? But you were in first grade, right? So you learned about things from the first grade. And they helped you get ready for second grade, right?
Yeah, but they still do pluses the same though.
No. Did you do the same math in second grade that you did in first grade? No, I remember they started adding like addition and stuff in there.
Yeah, but they still had the old ones.
Or not addition, but like multiplication and division problems.
Yeah, but they still had pluses.
Yeah, addition. But see, that's the point, okay? So the Old Testament is like the pluses or addition, right? And the New Testament explains why addition is good and you still practice it, but now adds in decimals or fractions.
I don't do decimals.
You do fractions.
But what are decimals?
Decimals are fractions. So 1/4, which is a fraction, is 0.25. You'll learn it. I don't think you're quite there yet. But does that help you make sense of what Jesus did? So Jesus taught things from the Old Testament, and then those things were written down, and they became the New Testament. Like you learned mathematics by learning addition and subtraction, and then in second grade, you started using fractions.
What are mathematics?
Addition, subtraction are mathematics.
Oh.
Pluses and minuses. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to pick a different subject? Does it make sense yet? What are we talking about right now? That the Bible is all of the books. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That the Old Testament is before Jesus came. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the Old Testament has a collection of books in it, and one of them is the book of Psalms. And what are the book of Psalms? It's a collection of Blessed is the man.
Songs?
Of songs, that's right. And so these were the worship songs. You know when we go to church and we sing songs? These are the songs that Israel sung in the temple. And during the festivals and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that kind of cool? They were played, all these were played on instruments and stuff.
Like, oh, really old instruments?
I guess. I mean, they kind of sound the same. Well, you've heard some of the music that I play. There's a band called Mikkedim. Do you remember? Adonai Roi. Adonai Roi lo echsar. Bino. Dashi yarbitzeni.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that song? It says, "The Lord leads me down righteous paths. He is my shepherd." It's from this. It's from the Psalms. But that music is actually Jewish. And it has some of those odd rhythms and stuff in it. So we actually listen to a lot of the Psalms. I don't think you really realize that you're in the Psalms. But what we're going to do is we're going to start reading these. And then when you hear them, you'll begin to understand them. Maybe not in Hebrew like the last song, but
English?
in English for sure, right? Okay, so let's look at the structure of the book of Psalms. The book of Psalms has 5 books in one collection. So the book of Psalms is actually 5 different books. I'll explain why. The books were put together or collected at different times throughout the seasons. So what happened is, over time, the people of Israel collected and wrote new songs. Does that make sense? Can you imagine that you had 1,000 years of worshiping God? You might make a whole bunch of songs. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to school, okay?
Yeah.
How many assignments have you done?
I don't know.
A lot, right? Because you've been in school for how long?
I think 8 years, right?
You've been in school now, you're in 3rd grade. You've been in school for kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, and 3rd grade, right?
Yeah.
And you've done a lot of assignments, right? So this is what you've collected. You've collected a body of work starting in kindergarten through 1st grade, 2nd grade, and now 3rd grade. So if we were to collect all your work and break it up like we do the Psalms, you would have 4 books. You'd have kindergarten book, the 1st grade book, the 2nd grade book, And you would be working on your fourth book. You would have a third grade book now. Does that make sense? Because it would be a collection of the stuff that you have done for school.
I guess.
That's how the Psalms were collected. The Psalms were written and then collected. And they were collected into individual books. So, of all the Psalms in this book, there were 5 individual books put together over time. Okay? Okay. So, the book of Psalms is broken up into 5 collections. Say that for me.
Wait, say it again?
The book of Psalms is broken up into 5 collections. Say that.
The book of Psalms is, how you say that?
Broken up into 5 collections. Good. So there are 5 collections of books in the book of Psalms. Okay. Who wrote most of the Psalms?
I don't know.
It's the guy that killed the giant.
David?
David wrote most of the Psalms.
He was the king, right?
He was the king. At first, though, he was just a warrior. Then he became a king. Then there's a guy named Asaph. Can you say Asaph?
Asaph.
Okay. You have a question? Okay. So then, we had Asaph. He was also a writer because he was in charge of music. He was like a musician.
A musician?
Yeah, he was a musician. He was he contributed to the music for the temple. A guy named Asaph.
Did he lead the band, or was he just a musician?
I think he led the band. Then you had the sons of Korah, not the band that we were just talking about, but an actual group of young men who were the sons or the actual children of a man named Korah, who was a Levite.
How many sons did he have?
We'll have to look that up. That's from the past.
Thank you for joining us.
We gotta go. I love you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for Modern Mind, Ancient Book. We hope that the time spent with us was valuable for you. It certainly was for us. Like Isabella said, please come back soon.